MK, and I am back with another May I Scraplift You, and today I am scraplifting Amanda Ross. I absolutely loved this layout that I cannot wait to recreate it in my own way. So I've got some funny photos of my children and this really cool kit that is from Simple Stories, and it's called Family Fun. Now, I do know that this is a gaming kit, but I did want to kind of repurpose it or reuse it for something else that we are doing, that's kind of fun. Actually kind of weird. But I also added some acrylic arrows that are from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club in this kit because I thought that the colors matched really well, and I'm having a hard time using them. Truth be told, I used up the other, so it was actually two different sets, and then I combined them into one set, so it looked like one whole package, which it wasn't one whole package. I actually combined them because I had like a bright color that was blues and yellows and oranges, and then another color that was blues and teals and clears. And so I mixed them up using only the colors that I really wanted to, and now I'm stuck with the colors that I don't know what to do with. So I'm going to try to use them up on this layout. Now I have some of these scraps. Now these scraps are left over from a live that I did a couple months ago, actually when I first got this paper pack. And so I've just had all these little scraps. This wood grain is from a paper pad that I picked up from gosh knows where, a big box store when I actually make it to the big box store. And this rainbow piece is from the Sun-Kissed collection by Coco Vanilla. I'm going to use that as my background because I'm still at my retreat. This was a really long retreat, you guys. I was still at my retreat when I created this. I did not take into the fact that I put the black cardstock in my little kit that I made for this photo and for this scrap lift, but I didn't take it into effect that that Amanda Ross, not she, put her wood grain on a white background, like she has a white border around it. And I thought, what am I going to do? Well, I'm never going to use this rainbow. That's a given. And most of it is white. And where the rainbow portion is going to be seen isn't really going to be seen because of all the chaos that's going to go on when I put those little like bars. They almost remind me of sound bars in a way. And I was really attracted to that. So I didn't know if it was like supposed to represent a roller coaster or a sound wave, or I don't know, but it was super fun. And that was one of the things that attracted me to this layout. So I first started off by seeing how it wasn't quite square. The wood grain wasn't quite square. So that was the first thing that I noticed. And I thought, oh, that's super cool, because then I can take my wood grain piece with my white frame and kind of make it crooked just a little bit. I don't have to be perfect on the black cardstock. Yay. It's awesome. So then I was also noticing that she corner rounded one side of her like sound waves. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. And I thought, well, why'd she do that? Because then you go down farther and she corner rounded both sides. So I was kind of like, do I want to do that? Am I sure? I'm not sure. Let's just do this portion. Okay. Let's get this side going and see where I want to place this. Now, with these tickets, I wanted to make sure that I didn't end in half of a ticket. So I didn't mind if I had half a ticket on the bottom, but at the top I wanted a full ticket, and I don't plan on corner rounding those. But before I kept just cutting strips and strips and strips, I did want to make sure that I had, like when I cut off the extra paper, I didn't need to use that somewhere else. Does that make sense? I didn't want to cut more than I needed to. That's what I'm trying to say. I also had to take a hot minute to realize my spacing. Like, how wide do I cut these strips since I'm not working with a 12 by 12 piece of paper anymore? And so that took quite a bit of time. But I am in a way doing exactly what Amanda did, is have all of these little stripes or strips of paper going in one direction all the way down the layout, and then they're going to reverse and go back up the layout, which is, I think, is so cool. So I just wanted to make sure, but for some reason, the one that kind of is the stopping point didn't get rounded either. Now, I don't know if it was an oversight or on purpose. And so I am definitely going to go and see if she has a video for this, because like I said, I like to scrap lift before I go and watch how they did it. Because if I watch how they did it, then I kind of want to mimic exactly how they do it, and it sets me in a rut. But if I see the layout and I do it the way that I think it was done, or the way that I would have done it, then I feel like my creative freedom is there, and then I'm not stuck in a rut. So anyways, I definitely want to go and check out to see if she has a video for this. I think she does, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, but I think she does, just to see if she explains why she corner rounded the way she did, because that kind of gets me. Anyways, had to once again figure out the spacing, which was not my friend, I'm just saying. And then because that one that is double corner rounded, so it's fully round, I don't know how to say it, because it's going to be hiding behind the photo, I decided that that piece was just perfect from the cutoff piece that I did with the one that I just glued down. And so I didn't have to cut another piece. And that's what I was saying is if I didn't have to cut another piece, I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to reuse my papers without having all these extra scraps hanging around. So I hope that makes sense. I took my my edge distresser, because I am completely in love with my edge distressing, and distressed the edges of all this. One of the things I love about the edge distresser, because I've had that asked a lot, is why am I so in love with it? Because it seems a little bit tedious. Yes, it does, but it adds dimension to the layout without adding bulk to the layout. So that is one of the reasons why I love my edge distresser. It's just that dimension. Okay, so I've got all these extra pieces of paper and I'm trying to figure out how to make them work. So because I have two photos, I'm going to go ahead and cut them at a diagonal, so that way I can at least cover two of the corners. And then I just took the leftover of that blue. That was the last piece that I had left of that blue, I believe. Oh, don't quote me on that. I might not. It might show up at another layout, because the tone-on-tone paper packs, I know, I just stopped in the middle of what I was saying to finish another sentence. The tone-on-tone pattern papers, I am beginning to see, and I'm starting to see them as solids. I don't need cardstock, because I can use those and the pattern gets lost behind my photo, and all of a sudden I see just a solid blue. And I am loving it. It is like an epiphany went off in my little brain going, you've had that piece of paper in your stash for how long? And you went and reached for cardstock? Why are you buying more cardstock when it's right there? You guys, it took me this retreat to figure this out. I've always bought cardstock because I've always thought that that's what I needed. Oh my gosh, it's the doors and the windows and the flow has just entered my brain. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying, which I forgot. So I am going to go ahead. You guys, it did take me a bit to figure out how to do the photos. So I went ahead and I fast forwarded all that part, glued them all together, edge distressed them yet again. And then I took some washi tape just because I really love the numbers on this washi tape. And I'm trying my hardest to use my washi tape. I have rolls and rolls and rolls of washi tape. And the only thing I use them for is to hold my die cuts down, back my layouts if I sewed or added brads to it. That's it. I need to use my washi tape, you guys. And because this one is full of numbers and stars, which are two of my favoriteest things in the world, I decided that I was going to add them to this layout. Now, some of the things that I picked out, I was trying to stay away from the game section of it, but a few of the things that I picked out, especially for my title, was family fun. I thought that that was really cool. So these photos are on the 4th of July. We always empty out our garage and set up our tables in the garage. So that way, when our friends and family and everybody comes over for the 4th of July, we have a spot out of the wind to have breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're cooking all day long. We have the grill out. We've got the griddle out. We are cooking eggs and bacon and all that good stuff for breakfast. If you missed breakfast, come on over for lunch. We do all different kinds of things. We do hamburgers and hot dogs and just fun 4th of July stuff for lunch. And then for dinner, we have, steaks and barbecue chicken. So it's all day long food and fun. We've got the croquet set out. We've got the badminton without a net because, at 2 o'clock at our house, actually in our area, at 2 o'clock, the wind starts picking up and it lasts until about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. All the way to the point where we don't think we're going to get fireworks because of the wind. And then all of a sudden it gets dark and no more wind. Poof, we have fireworks. It works like this every year. Like every year, everybody's like, oh, they're going to cancel on us because, and then it never happens because the wind leaves us alone. All right. So back to our garage. Now we've got our tables all set up and everything. And all of a sudden this little bird flies in. He wanted to be a part of our celebration, right? He just wanted to be a part of the fun. And it was driving my children crazy to the point where they grabbed all of these toys and things that they could to try and scare the bird off. Well, what they ended up doing was scaring the bird in between the garage door and the roof. So they were hitting the garage door, thinking that they were scaring the bird, trying to get him to fly out and under the door. And it just wasn't working, but it was entertainment for hours for my children. The poor bird, I really feel bad for the bird, but my children were entertained the entire time. And all of a sudden it was lunchtime and it was great. It was very much fun. And I actually recorded it because I was expecting the bird to scare them. But he never came out until after we were leaving him alone and he had absolutely nothing left to do. And all of a sudden he just flew out on his own. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I had a blast recreating this layout. It was so fun. And I love the colors in it and how fun it is. And it's not rainbow. It's just bright and cheery. I absolutely love it. All right. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with May I Scraplift You today. Amanda, thank you for letting me lift you today. And I will check y'all out later. Bye.